All right, so in addition to playing viewer-specific deck lists that people have sent in, I also do what I refer to as build-around submission. So someone submitted, said, hey, Jeff, can you take a look at Vivien Monsters Advocate here and build what you think would be the best deck leveraging for Vivien Monsters Advocate here in this new standard format. So Monsters Advocate here, in addition to playing creature cards off the top of your deck and making beastlies, she also does -2. The next creature spell you cast this turn, search your library with a lesser converted mana cost. So I felt like one of the best ways to leverage this from Vivien was to obviously play her with other big monsters. And I think Fires of Invention is probably the best big monster thing you can be doing in Standard right now. And Vivien feels like an interesting way to push Fires even harder. So, for example, one of the best things you want to do with Fires usually is play Fires on 4, play a 4-drop, and then play 2 5-drops the following turn. And Vivien allows us to go Fires on 4, turn 5, play Vivien, -2 Vivien, get 2 monsters. So we play 1, fetch another. We also have Keruga here as our companion. For those not keeping up with the new mechanics, hey, Fedus, thanks for the 24 months. Companions have a deck building requirement, and as long as you meet that deck building requirement, they start in your sideboard, and then you can cast these out of your sideboard. So Keruga here gives us a guaranteed 5-mana monster to always pair with Vivien when we have Vivien and Fire, so that's sweet. The Wooba, thank you for the very generous Tier 3 sub. Welcome, welcome. Tier 3 subs can submit a deck every single month because there's such a high level of support. Be sure to do that using the forum on my website. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into some matches with this and see if things go as planned. Now, I already have Jeskai Control prepared Wilder, so Temur Mutate, I want to sit down and think about what I would be doing for next time. So I'm gonna do Jeskai Control as the next deck. Bummy, thanks for the Brandy Prime support. I appreciate you. Welcome. Every day this week, I'm gonna be preparing a couple of extra decks in advance for the event that we go long or things go quickly. I don't believe I'm playing Storm's Wrath. Were there some hiding in the sideboard? No, I don't have any Storm's Wrath in the 75. Just playing a bunch of monsters. What are the deck of the day so far? We played a blue-red mutate deck earlier today that was quite excellent. Felt real reasonable. Keep my Vivien. Are we always cycling Sharknado, or am I missing something? Nope, not missing something. Sharknado is super playable, in my opinion, just for its cycle cost. Opponent is playing a Luris deck. That's cute. Bonecrusher Giant and adventure creatures in general notably get around Keruga's companion, so it gives us a 2-mana thing to do, which is nice. Unfortunately, cannot kill Priest of the Forgotten Gods here. Yep. Why is it worth thinking about, Worky? What problem does my deck have that's solved by that addition? Why is it a good addition? Like there's like a reason why that card hasn't been played historically speaking. It's just not very good. Probably just did here, honestly. Not being able to kill Priest of the Forgotten Gods is a big deal. This is a type of matchup where Storm's Wrath would be really good. I'll probably end up adding that before long. Yeah, we're super dead. Perfect Wilder, thanks for the support. So, I believe this is currently bugged where you can abuse it, where you can have cards. So, post-board, in order to have your companion be a companion, your deck still has to meet the companion requirements. That is how Magic the Gathering works. That is 100% how the rules work. Magic Arena, I believe, is currently bugged. That's not the case here. Let's do that for now. I've got some cheap interaction in my sideboard with the intention of boarding it in, so that way we can cut the companion when it's not good. Because the companion is not great in matchups against aggressive decks. Not useful there. What do we want to cut for Storm's Wrath on the board? Any thoughts on Yellow Hat's Manadork deck? I have no idea what that refers to, Varasov. I agree, Jensen. It's a very bad bug. Mothra's the only good bug. It's a good observation. Ditch the Uro here. Yeah, this is also a Vorthos fail Scorpion. It's a Scorpion without Death Touch. Feels bad. Yeah, it's the one that deals 2 when it dies. Did I leave in the companion to demonstrate the bug or no? Well, there's not currently a companion here, so probably not. I can't parse that deck list quickly, Vara. Sorry. I don't look at deck lists while I'm streaming, Pan. I'm just not going to look at it. Feel free to post it in the subs Discord or ping me later, but just like pausing to try and parse something like that mid-stream. Yep. Land's a good pickup. So we can stomp this, and then Vivien make a 3/3. Yeah, Cardboard Live is apparently messing up the battlefield in a bunch of different ways. Hey, Mazip, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. Gotta be quick to get the timeouts here. A lot of mods with very good skills. Some mad skills. A Vigilance 3/3 doesn't even take one of my lands, chat. Looks like they're about to escape a Croxy here. Which cards to exile with Crocs are they going to really take care with in their deck, it looks like? Huh. So I don't have any 2-mana creatures. This gets or less, right? So I'm going to start with this. I don't have enough cards in my bin yet to do the one for my graveyard. All of the information about how much it costs to submit deck lists is literally found on the website, which you're filling out the form. Uro's CMC is 4 mana. No, it's still 3. The converted mana cost is always the number printed in the corner of the card. Unless it's an X spell.
I call and Ikoria answers.
Well, the converted mana cost of the card on the stack and they're the same thing. TLDR, they're the same thing. It's nice because they're playing this. We know they don't have anything like Murderous Rider. They could have like Eat to Extinction though. This is only permanents, right? Each permanent. I'm going to crack my fetch here to start to try and shuffle my deck to see if I can get another monster on top. Okay, sweet. So we'll get to draw this with Uro. Guess I'll start by attacking with this. Can I cast this using Stomp here? No. Okay, so I could cycle into it though, right? No, I can't cast this from Vivien. You can only cast it as a creature. So we'll do this, auto pay. We get to draw the Bonecrusher Giant to stomp the Luris. They'll sack it, so the Giant will go away, but that's fine. We took their thing out of play. And then we'll get to make another 3-3 here. Vivien looking impressive with the card advantage off the top of the deck here, too. Giving us some nice selection. I'm going to hold on to the Triome so we can cycle it next turn. You have Ubash as a commander. You can put even cost cards in your sideboard and board them in. You can, however, you lose him as your companion. If your deck post-board does not meet the companion requirements, you can no longer utilize your companion. Yeah, the fact that Cycle gets around Fires is really great. Vivien being card advantage and board presence. Yep, yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm actually really glad. I talked about this in my article on Cool Stuff Inc. today, but I'm glad that they continued experimenting with Planeswalker static text. Because while I know we had some very clear misses with like Narset and Teferi Time Raveler, I think as a whole, having access to Planeswalkers with static text is great design space. There's a number of good examples of Planeswalkers with reasonable static text. So I'm glad that in general, that's a tool they're going to keep in their arsenal as far as like producing cards goes. I mean, how could I not keep, chat? How can we not keep? We've got not one, but two Sphinx of the good hands. Could be anything, chat. I think I'm gonna dig for a Bonecrusher Giant here. You want to keep the Triome? How greedy is it to ship all of them? Yeah, I think keep Triomes, right? We'll keep Triome. We'll play Passage on 2. We can Uro on 3. Not having an answer to Priest of the Forgotten Gods is a pretty big deal. Elemental cat dinosaurs. And yet you make beasts. Luris and Deadweight. No, I don't have any Luris enchantment shells at the moment. Alright, well, we beat them without it. But I feel like some Storm's Wrath is probably an okay idea on the sideboard. Do we want some Storm's Wrath in here? Feel like the answer is probably yes. Probably don't need this Luca. Sounds great, right? Sphinx of the good hand, Sneeper Keeper. It's a Sneeper Keeper, do-do-do-do-do-do. Sneep-pa-pa, keep-pa-pa, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Things you are not. Fires of Invention. Hey, yo, man. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Glandia. So keeping me employed this month with that. I think I'm going to hold on to that for now. I just want to get my guaranteed Uro on 3, because Uro on 3 guarantees Sphinx on 4. To curve out rather cleanly. Duress this. Main deck Duress. Who hurt you, opponent? What was their name? Tell me your story. Mogius's Favor. That's an interesting one. Do Triomes outclass Temples? I think so. In most instances. Remember that time I bought him in a bunch of lands? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Block. Yikes! So we're super dead. Well, you know. Yep, Storm's Wrath. Well, just about to comment on that. Storm's Wrath looking real good. Get to bring in some Thrashing Brontodons for all their enchantments too. Uro into untapped land plus Stomp. Did they keep us alive there? That would have been at 8. We'd have killed their 3-1. If we kill their 3-1, their other thing gets bigger, so that killed us. Fabled Passage alongside Sphinx has been super awkward so far. I wonder if because we're not playing blue Cavalier, if we want to just get rid of this card. Having it to shuffle with Vivien was nice though at one time. At one time at band camp. Do I want to play Brontodon out because I have Storm's Wrath in my hand? I feel like the answer is probably no. I don't know that you want that many always tapped lands in your deck, Wargy. Like, playing like 6 plus always tapped lands is a lot. I am actually musically illiterate. I am incapable of playing a musical instrument. They almost assuredly Equinox. What on God's green earth does this attack mean? Myers Grasp? Oh, it's the -3/-3 enchantment. Good read, chat. Good read. Almost took the bait. Could be Othakaya too, yeah. If I'm not blocking, I might as well attack, huh? What does this idiot do? Enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent converted mana cost 3 or more. Man, this card's sick, huh? Like that, unfortunate. Yeah, that's great, right? Pretty good little dinosaur. Pretty good little dinosaur. So, like, I sack these two, and then I Thrashing Brontodon this. They lose their Doom Fortolds. We have 9 cards in the bin, so next turn we can Uro plus Escape Uro, which is great. Oh, Nox with the host. Did I miss it? I'm all over the place. Thanks, Nox. Hope you had a good... She definitely did. Thanks for the great host. Hope you had a good one. Storm's Wrath on top. So her -2 only gets things that cost explicitly less. So she does not do anything with this since I don't have any 2s in my deck. Opponent's had enough. Go to the next game. I think I'm happy with how I boarded here. I don't think any of our cards that invalidate our companion are good. Let's just run it back. Yeah, the opinions on companions seem pretty polarized. There are a number of people that didn't think they were going to quite be good enough. Hey, thanks for the sub-gifting, Niv. Whoa, J-Man, thanks for the sub-gifties as well. Welcome to our newest members of Hoaglandia. For folks that are coming in, if you're enjoying Standard and you're interested in playing in a tournament, we are having our second Hoaglandia Open Online Tournament Series event on April 25th. CoolStuffInc.com, one of my sponsors, is put up $500 in store credit and prizes. The only requirement to play in the tournament is that you're currently subscribed to the channel and are capable of streaming your matches to Discord upon request. Hey, thanks for the 12 months of support, T-Banks. Hey, appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Hoaglandia Online Open Series, Tournament Series, Hoots for short. Yeah, this is fine. Not amazing, but fine. We'd like to draw like a Bonecrusher or a Storm's Wrath, but like they mulligan, so I think like this seems like a reasonable curve. Might get to see that Fires into Vivien, downtick Vivien, Keruga, grab Sphinx. There are amazing things you can do in terms of tournament entry fees and prizes and stuff when you don't have the logistics of like having to have a venue, right? Eats a lot of cost up. I think especially when you factor in the fact that the Triomes help fix your mana in 3-color decks, they're much better than Temples on average. Okay, so I put a stop on my upkeep so I can respond to this trigger. I'm gonna sack this and kill the Doom Foretold here. Oh, that's dumb though, right? Because now I can't sacrifice a thing so they get the rest of it. That doesn't work out. In my head, that played out differently. I should have killed this technically, right? Or maybe just let my thing sacrifice. Honestly, maybe just letting it sacrifice was ideal there. We might just get run down here because of that play. So, single Fibblethip in the main deck removes Keruga as our companion, which I think makes it not worthwhile. Unfortunate that we didn't have Thrashing Brontodon last turn to play out. Would have been a great blocker.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
Okay, so we're going to 4 here. Putting Vigilance on these rather than Reach or Trample so they can play offense and defense simultaneously. Although now we're going to put Reach on the next one. I'm short cards to be able to... I'm short being able to escape Uro here, unfortunately. Yeah, Keruga's drawing at least 2. Do I want to -2 the Vivien to grab a Sphinx with it? I think that's the answer. I think that's correct. So let's do this.
About to get out of hand for you. The more the harrier.
To draw, what, 3 cards here? Yeah, getting Uro to gain life could have maybe been correct. I don't know. I'm pretty close to escaping this one out of the bin. This is Vigilant, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with it. If they want to double block and trade, that's a good exchange for me. Hello, oldest son. How are you? You're good? You having a fun Friday? Yeah. I can kill Brontodon with fires to play more spells. That's actually kind of cute. I could kill the fires with Brontodon to cast Uro, because it would put 2 more cards in the bin. Is that the line? I think that might be the line. That's actually sick. Yeah, I feel like we only lose this game by like getting punked out to like some burst damage somehow off the top to something I'm not thinking of. And like gaining a little bit of life and then being able to gain more life next turn seems stellar. You a good kid? Yeah. Cuddly kid. Mind rot. Yikes. Okay, so Vivien's an easy discard. Do we get rid of the fires then too? Actually, it's probably just Thrashing Bee, huh? Let me get rid of Thrashing Bee. This is a good... Actually, maybe I should have kept the Vivien. Because, like, I kind of want a Storm's Wrath here, right? Yeah, this is a good game, Storm's Wrath, I think. I get to play this off the top for value beforehand first, too. Keep the one that can attack. Bye, friends. Crunch, another just actual empty, and we're back up to 11 here. It's what it's like playing good decks versus brews. This is what it's like playing good decks versus brews, chat. Whew! My monsters need an advocate, chat. My monsters need an advocate. Every mutation displays nature's ingenuity. Hottest of fires off the top. Hottest of fires in my fires deck. You love to see it, chat. You want to watch something in the basement, bud? Yeah. Yeah? Do you want me to help you get set up? Yeah. Okay. This is fine. It's got Bonecrusher Giant. I'm gonna go toggle a television for the child really quick. Be right back, folks. Let's roll, my dude. You got my pop chores or something else? Anything else? Oh, we're doing this again. Okay. Lane's a good draw. Someone said this was something Crokies was doing earlier today with the Whisper Squads and the Luris. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting a lot of the flash decks to be pretty pushed in Standard. Because when they balanced those flash style effects in the Future League, it they had Veil of Summer running around. To help keep them in check, and they definitely don't now. Well, if my 27 land deck is... Are we 27 or 26? Anybody know? 27 or 26? Survey says 27 land. If our 27 land deck is capable of drawing a 5th land next turn, we're going to be in a very good spot. Temur Ultimatum. Yeah, I'm not sure that Temur Ultimatum's super flashy, and like there's gonna be games where you get to 7 mana, but I'd kind of be surprised if it's better than Vivien. I mean, it blocks something no matter where I put it, right, Marty? Well, you know, 27 lands later. Yeah. If Vivien lets you go hard on turn 5 is exactly that. That was exactly my thought. I think we want more cards that let us go big on 5 rather than more things that go bigger later. That's true. Glass half full. It wasn't another uncastable 5-drop. We're going to get burned out by the Scorpion, the Familiar. I think we needed a hit there. Oh, Magic, you're such a low variance game. Just the lowest variance of games. I think I don't mind another Questing Beast against their cat deck. I don't think I want Thrashing Brontodon. I think it's a little bit too clunky to use to kill Oven. The rest of this seems fine. Yeah, there's a companion filter toggle. By default, you won't see cards in your sideboard that break the companion rules. Did you miss something, or were you not quite favored that game despite missing land drops? Yeah, you missed the part where their cat plus their Oven plus their Scorpion plus their Lurrus was going to burn us out over the course of a very, very short amount of time. Hey, thanks for the very generous tier 3 more text. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to be a little greedy and bottom the 5th land. Always remember when you make card suggestions in chat, you should say what problem you're looking to solve, what cards you're looking to cut, why your suggestion is good. Otherwise, you're generally going to get a 10-minute break. Peak Twitch chat is people watching us miss our 5th land till turn 7 in my 27 land deck and conclude that my deck needs to make changes because of that. Stay strong, Twitch chat. Stay strong. Your inability to think critically will take you far in life, or it won't, one of the two. Only 2 cards in their bin, so far off of Kroxa. Luris not quite relevant just yet. Enjoy the cash, courtesy of Dr. Evil. I mean Jeff Bezos. Thanks for the 14 months, Strum Freak. In for land number 5. I'm just going to start attacking them in the air here. I'm going to smack them for 4 and then play another Sphinx out. The second Sphinx here means that they don't really have the free reign to just, like, pay 5 life to draw a card, because we'll kill them too quickly, so that's nice. Or they feel like they do. Sure, it's a bold strategy. See if it pays off for them here. Yeah, I feel like they're misidentifying their current role here. It feels to me like they think they can grind this out. And I don't feel like they're currently in a grind it out position. It's definitely feels to me like I'm running them down. I'm pretty happy with that position to be in. I don't even know what we're looking to draw here, honestly. Hey, is that it? Is that something I'm looking to draw? Maybe. So I put a stop on their upkeep here. When they sack the cat at end of turn, I'm going to go ahead and stomp the Luris. I waited till they activated the oven to do that, so that way they couldn't sack the Luris in response and stop me from getting my Bonecrusher Giant back. Second Bonecrusher here in hand means I can stomp their face, which means even if they gain a little bit of life, they still need to kill a Phoenix in order to not be dead next turn, or kill a Sphinx, sorry. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean, people try to argue things that are baseless and stupid all the time, Morgie. Did you have a... Remember when I said I didn't know what we were looking for earlier? That's what we were looking for. That one right there. I didn't know what we were looking for, but my deck was like, Jeff, calm down. We've got you. We know what we don't know what you want, but it knew what we needed. Bonecrusher's ready, chat. Or more importantly, Sphinx of Foresight is ready. Oh no. Oh no. I went from no blue to no green. Oh no. Oh no. The hubris, chat. We should have kept a green source. We should have kept a green source, chat. Oh no. Oh no. Look at that. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. Scoreboard. Scoreboard, Twitch chat. Scoreboard. Get out of here. Never lucky. Yikes. Alright, survey says... Alright, you know, it's not what we wanted, but beggars won't be choosers, chat. Beggars shan't not be choosers. Oh, no. At least our downfall was epic. At least the downfall was epic. Well, I mean, as far as, like, non-land draws go... That one's probably towards the top, right? Yeah, like, the opponent's missing land drops too, but, like, their card says their deck costs 2 or less. Our card says our things cost way more than that. So, like, it's not really a comparable balance of we're both missing lands, right? There's a little bit of a skew there, so to speak. Punishing Waterfalls, thank you for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh no. Oh, not my Stormy. Alright, so I'm doing this. I'm definitely discarding the Sphinxes. Do I also discard Questing Beast? I think the answer is yes, because it lets me escape Uro. This puts me up to 6 cards in bin for Uro. The worst part about this is that because we drew so many cards off of this, my opponent's not going to get to know how lucky we were. Ow! 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 Alright, well this is... I guess we're doing this. If I activate Cavalier and attack, I lose to the second act of treason. Can I beat the second act of treason though? I don't know that we can. There's no fear in this dojo, chat. This dojo, your dojos might contain fear. My dojo does not. Survey says. Survey says. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. See, chat, can't have fear in your dojo, chat. Don't let it in. When you let the fear in, they win. They could draw a claim off the priest. That's true. That's true. They could sack this. They could draw it off the priest. I'd be surprised if they have claimed the firstborn in postborn against us. They could have active treason. They could at the second act. I'd be surprised if they have claim. Claim is not a card that should be in their deck right now. Can you just pass the turn so I can unclench, please? Please pass the turn so I can unclench. I would like the record to reflect that Magic is a skill-based game and the better player always wins. Or it's incredibly high variance and I'm very lucky. One of the two. Those are the two options. Those are the two options that we have laid before us. This is really weird. Is this what the other half lives like? Is this what it's like when you put a bunch of good cards in your Magic the Gathering deck? People that like standard like decks like this, right? Because there's a bunch of good cards and we get to win. We're gonna have to get rid of all the brews and become a tryhard stream now, chat. It's the only option. Seems good. Seems good. Sphinx of the good hands. Drag us to some lands. How will you ever make Mythic if you don't try it? Yeah, there's no possible way you could make Mythic every season just playing viewer-submitted deck lists, right? That would be impossible. Yeah, that's a thing apparently, Hedgehog. I actually have, there's a Legacy deck in the queue right now that does something similar too. I think we're going to see that in multiple formats be a thing. How do you keep having two landers in your deck that's half lands? I am incredibly unlucky. Feels Magic the Gathering, man. You have to practice being this unlucky. Yeah, exactly. Look at all of my various hands, chat. There's my hand, and then there's my escape hand, and there's my adventure hand, and then there's my, whatever this is over here. These are my jazz hands. He was excited to do this on mobile. That sounds reasonable. Probably won't be a cluster at all. Did I really choose Vigilance instead of Reach just out of instinct? I definitely did. That's unfortunate. Definitely intended to choose Reach. Misclicked it. Muscle memory is a hell of a drug. What's going on, Drusoom? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Believe it or not, we lost the game where we stumbled and died. Weird. That sounds good. Oh, Doom. Oh, Doom Inevitable. This card might be less good than I wanted it to be. It seems good in the Mutate decks, the Temur Mutate decks, the Blue Red Mutate decks. It's been less good in these other things. Interested to see what Doom Inevitable looks like in the Jeskai control deck that we have up next. So the Jeskai control deck we're going to play after this one is for Doom Inevitable in it. Dark Druid, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. It doesn't distinguish well between the different types of cards. Yeah, you have to look very closely because there's different colors of smoke that come off of them. Like, the escape cards have purple smoke, the adventure cards have like green smoke, etc. Can't wait to see a cycling deck in the queue. There aren't really cards that pay you off for cycling things, right? Is there a cycling payoff card in this set that I missed? Keeper mulligan. There's a bunch of limited, yeah, there aren't any ones that are constructed playable, right? At least not at a glance. This hand's much better. I'm actually going to keep Cavalier of Thorns, because it could mill us into an Uro, which would be great. Sphinx digs real deep. If your hand's just missing one thing, Sphinx can usually find it for you. What's the syntax for card lookup? Just exclamation point and then the card name. What's our deck of the day so far? Blue-Red Mutate was really good to start the day. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the trigger on this. I want to start playing out my hand. Them knowing about the sweeper means it's a little bit less powerful than it otherwise could be. If they play like Mothra next turn, I'd rather have their board clear before they stick that. Any untapped lands here is great because we get to start getting Vivien going. Perfect. Missing a green source for the Cavalier at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and make this Vigilant for now. They don't have Mothra yet, so Reach isn't a priority. Yeah, we tried both, Dr. Mister. I don't know. I think our conclusion at the end was that it ended up feeling a little bit worse than the Temur deck overall. But the Shark was good. The gameplay was good. The deck was kind of medium compared to the other Mutate things we played. How do you get the Godzilla art? You get Godzilla arts for pre-ordering, and you get Godzilla arts for buying large quantities of booster packs with gems. Vivien, generating card advantage off the top is sick. Oh yeah, you get some of them for draft too. Yeah, that's true. For playing limited. I'm gonna go ahead and throw away Sphinx here. Keep my Vivien going. She pumps out things every turn. I'm gonna -2 here and do this, I think. Grab a questing beast. Yeah. Gives us something to play a little bit of offense with, while simultaneously being able to trade with Knight after they pump it too. Hey, I done share. Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Yep. Do my best to get everything on YouTube ASAP. Lots of great content piling up there. Yeah, I think Vivien seems like a good slot in. I saw some people playing with the Ultimatum at the top end of this deck, and I think that's a little bit too expensive on average, and I like having more 5s. I would be very surprised if anything built around cycling was competitive in the current standard format. I think the payoffs are just a little bit too weak. Any chance Soul-type Flash gets tacked on today if numbers stay consistent? Yeah, if we keep this viewer count up through the next 2 decks, I'm going to do one more, yeah. Mothra is real good. For those of you just joining us, if you enjoy my content, you want to see lots of it, my plan for the next week is to basically just stream every day until we drop below 2,000 viewers. So if you're someone who's around and you want to see lots of Hoagland content, make sure you're hanging out. So I think we do this with Reach. And then we do this, and then we shock in this and play Keruga and draw a bunch of cards. Hey! Alright, well, if we can manage to not die here, if we can manage to not die here, it might be a tall order with the priest, though. Are we dead? That lethal? It's probably pretty close to lethal, huh? Feels dead. So I'm going to 3. And then they pump this, attack with all of these, and I die. Oh, they have Whoosh Rider. Yep. And that's what we kind of talked about. We've played with a few of the Aristocrats decks a few times, and the Aristocrats decks, when you don't interact with them, are just very powerful. Anytime you get to untap with Priests of the Forgotten Gods, it feels like you just can't lose. I haven't been impressed with the deck's overall silence. So I know our draw there didn't have a lot of interaction with it, but I feel like a lot of the good decks in this format have a lot of interaction with it. And the Aristocrats deck feel like a pretty disjoint group of weak cards when your opponent just has a couple pieces of spot removal. Like, that game is just night and day different if we find the ability to kill that priest, right? Like, the Mothra effectively doesn't do anything. I think that's unique to that archetype from last season, too. We saw that deck last season a bunch. And like, when people don't interact with it, it's very good, and when they do, it's rather mediocre. We'll draw the Triome this turn, so we can put that into play tapped. And that's how synergy decks tend to play out. Like, if your synergy is allowed to exist, they tend to be very powerful. And if your synergy gets disrupted, you tend to be very sad. That's true. The biggest upside to black-white is main deck Aether Gust are blank against you. Which I expect more main deck Aether Gust will be coming. Yeah, played against this deck a few times today. A couple folks earlier mentioned Croakies was doing well with it. Usually things that streamers do well with pop up the first couple of days after a set release. I think I'm bidding the Sphinx here. The overlay we're utilizing today is Cardboard Live. Some of the things in the battlefield are occasionally wrong, but it does at least have the new cards in it, so that's great. And I'm sure they're gonna get the cards in the battlefield being wrong sorted quickly. Log file probably just had some changes with the latest patch that they have to account for. I think I just get Vivien pumping here, huh? Let's get the endless supply of 3/3s going. I don't appear to have anything with flying, so just like stack the vigilance up so we can play offense and defense simultaneously. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Forget Freeman. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They are notably missing their second black source at the moment for Luris. Easy block on the Dreadhorde Butcher here. Yeah, they like traded their Dreadhorde Butcher for my Vivien's +1. Not a particularly good exchange for them. This should be solidly in garbage time at this point. The Uro's gonna get to pop up out of the bin next turn. Vivien's just sitting here generating card advantage. Opponent's definitely the beatdown in this matchup. The longer the games go, the more we're favored. If we're not in a range where they can, like, punk us out with direct damage, they're not gonna have a chance. Again, we're just bringing in Storm's Wrath. We've done this most of the games. I'm not sure if these Godzillas are actually good here or not. They're probably just too cute. $10-card board? No. So there is a filter on the sideboard by default that hides cards that break your companion rule. So there's 5 cards in my sideboard against aggressive decks that break my companion rule. So I think giving up the companion against aggro is the right thing to do, so you can have like some Aether Gusts and some Redcap Melees. Huh? What do I get rid of here? Is it the Bonecrusher Giant or the Storm's Wrath? I feel like I could go either way. I'm going to bottom the Storm's Wrath because these decks could play Duress. You want to bottom a land? Maybe that's appropriately greedy. Yeah, with the Sphinx trigger, bottoming a land might actually just be appropriately greedy. Kind of like that. I just do this now, just in case they have some way to pump this. Yeah, Dreadhorde Butcher is a card that felt like it hasn't aged super well. There's a card that I was super high on at one point in War of the Spark that just, like, today tends to feel like it comes up short. It is neat with Luris, though. Like, Butcher and the Scorpion with Luris both give you sustained sources of kind of card advantage, or burn, which is neat. Wow, do they have nothing? Wow. Okay, we take those. And again, I think I prioritize just getting Vivien going ASAP here. Endless supply of 3/3 sounds good. Got our backup Vivien on top too. You love to see it. Noxious Grasp, sure. Mutate with Butcher. I like that idea. Really? They have claimant against us post-board. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We have the tokens and we have the tokens on top of Uro. Sure. Yeah, and like here, this lets them recast Dreadhorde Butcher. Again, seeing some of that power of the Dreadhorde Butcher we talked about, paired with Luris, giving them sustained card advantage. If I'd have bottomed the land and kept the Storm's Wrath, we might have won this game. But it looks like because I bottomed the Storm's Wrath, we're going to lose. Yep. Yeah, mutating Phoenix onto Butcher seems neat, because you keep all the other text, and you get the dice trigger still, and you keep the 1/1 counters that you already have on it. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Yeah, the Phoenix with that seems okay. There's also, what's the Mardu mutate card is one that I've been wanting to try and put into something, but I haven't yet. Seems like it could be decent there. Yeah, Snapdax, that's the one. Did I stack that wrong, so I don't get to play a Triome next turn? That's unfortunate. This game they have the Duress. That's so brutal. It's my opinion of Flashbat in general. It's so much mana. Mutate with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, that could be okay. Not having a second removal spell here could be the death of us. Luris really seems like a potent card for this archetype. Like we talked about against the black-white deck, how if your opponent has enough interaction, they just, you just get picked apart. But Luris gives you a layer of resilience for your key cards that they have to kill, right? Like here we saw we could kill the priest, but then we didn't have a removal spell for the Luris, so now it got to come back. Yeah, and it feels like we're just kind of run out of gas here. A well-placed duress on the Storm's Wrath. I believe it was Andre Mengucci was playing a Phoenix deck a little bit of. Yeah, there's a lot of design space to test with the mutate mechanic. Mutate's gonna take a good bit of exploration to figure out. So are we sacking Luris to take my Sphinx off the table, or like what's the deal here? We're not. Okay. We're gonna keep that one. So we're gonna take a total of 4 here. They still have a bunch of cards in hand here, which is a little scary for us. What's our best possible draw next turn? Like Uro, there's 5 cards in our bin. Oh, second red source is brutal. So I don't know if we have a good out here at this point. Like red Cavalier lets us trade with this in combat, but still dead to a variety of things, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But like we're going to 1. Like, we trade with the Kroxa, we take 3 in combat, we take 1, we take 3 from the trigger, we take 1 from the Scorpion. Yeah, good game. Yeah, I might have to take a peek at the opponent's archetype at some point in the near future. I don't know, this seemed fine. I think putting the Storm's Wrath in the main is probably reasonable over that idiot, just to have a little bit more interaction. As far as this archetype's concerned, it felt fine, but honestly, it felt like a lot like the Fires decks last season, where the play patterns aren't super interesting. It's a very much it's not quite a ramp deck, but it feels ramp adjacent, and you're just kind of like, I do my thing, is my thing good enough? Like, there's not a lot of play and counterplay with what you have going on. The question you need to ask yourself while playing this is like, is Vivien and Uro better than having access to like Teferi and Kenrith? And I'm not sure that the answer to that is offhand without playing a bunch of games with both archetypes. I feel like at the very least the deck accomplished what I was looking to do with it. Yeah, I guess Clarion's a big consideration too, right? Because the fact that Storm's Wrath killed our Sphinxes was really relevant multiple times, right? And like Clarion not killing Keruga and not killing Sphinx is like a really big upside. And the fact that Clarion can give your creatures lifelink makes those aggro decks a lot worse, right? Like, decks like those Priest of the Forgotten Gods decks, in my experience in previous seasons, were basically unplayable against the Fires of Invention deck that were Jeskai. So, yeah, I guess really thinking about it and, like, thinking about how the white cards line up, I'd kind of be surprised if this is better than just working on the Jeskai build. The Jeskai build, like, also gets to play Keruga while getting to play some of those other cards that have utility in different spots. All right, what are we doing next? Speaking of Jeskai, we are not going to be playing Fires, but we are going to take a crack at playing Control for the first time since the newest set released. We are going to kick the tires on some main deck Aether Gust, some Narset of the Ancient Ways, among other things. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick ad roll while I get my client restarted before it starts crashing on us. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some Jeskai Narset. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. Sounds good, CCBM. I think we're going to do... Well, actually, Has anybody in chat been playing Magic Online? We haven't played Moto since the patch, but I've seen a lot of posts about a bunch of different cards being super bugged. Is that the case? There's a bunch of things that just aren't working right since their patch? They did a maintenance to fix it. Okay. What webcam do you use? The Logitech C920 is like the industry standard for decent camera quality at a low price. But because of everything going on with COVID, a bunch of people suddenly working remote and doing school remote, webcams are really hard to get right now, I'm told. Out of stock in a lot of places. I think Brazen Borrower is much, much worse than Aether Gust. Aether Gust actually 1-for-1 people, and Brazen Borrower doesn't block meaningfully against most decks in the format. Come on, Stream Decker, I believe in you. You can push through. Deafening Clarion is a card worth picking up. Especially if you're going to play Historic 2, that card will be a staple in that format for a while. I have stack interaction right here, monster. This is a tap out deck. I don't want a bunch of counter spells in my deck. Yeah, Stream Decker. Stream Decker just gets hammered at set release.